what actually happened is still a big mystery, but I know that what's stated in this affidavit is simply untrue. I do know that certain statements within this affidavit are demonstratively false. For example, that door being ajar, those doors close automatically unless both of them are it open.
Bang, bang. It is iCkEdMeL. We're going to be talking tonight about one of the biggest contradictions within this affidavit. I'm going to be showing you video footage of one of the neighbors. They showed how the door functions and why the affidavit has its own contradiction. And we're also going to see the lawyer speaking on CNN and giving his thoughts on this whole situation, which almost goes back to the theory that maybe she knew this person because witness accounts say that somebody was screaming, "Open the door, open the door." So let's get into it. Make sure you hit that like button, that subscribe button, and turn on notifications. Let's get it. All right, so let's get into this part, just a small part of the affidavit, because we covered the whole affidavit the other day. And it says she inserted a unique key door with an electronic chip into the door. The door was slightly ajar upon Geiger's arrival. How do you insert the key into a door without not noticing that, hey, it's slightly ajar already? Ajar means the door is open. How do you take the key, put it to the door handle or to the lock or whatever, and not notice, oh, the door's open? Makes no sense. Okay, and another thing, a lot of the theories that were going on is people were saying that, like, hey, we thought like he left the door open. I thought that maybe he left the door open. First of all, people are saying that, people that know him saying that he's a very like safe and like he's not that kind of person to leave his door open. He wasn't expecting company. And then a neighbor went and showed the door function to the apartment doors and how it works. So let's take a look at that.
This is my door open. I'm going to just let it go. It has a stick, it closes and slams on its own.
So the door closes on its own. It doesn't just stay open. He would have to forcibly put something within the doorway to block the doorway to keep it open. And if he had something within the doorway to hold it open, it would be obvious, and that would be mentioned within these statements. And a couple of things that people are calling on is that they're saying her story has changed up so many times. And I have to agree, this doesn't make any sense. But let's hear what the lawyer has to say. Check it out. And let's hear about the eyewitness accounts that hear somebody banging and screaming on a door, open it, open it. It doesn't sound like somebody that came up to a door, made a mistake to the right, and you still somehow went and tried to put the key in because you didn't notice that the door was open, even though that's what's in your report.
This fourth floor apartment instead of her third floor apartment. She tried to use an electronic key to open the door, but it was already open. She walked inside and told investigators it was totally dark when she noticed a large silhouette. Geiger says she thought John was a burglar and shot him after he ignored her commands. It wasn't until a 911 operator asked for her location that she says she noticed she was in the wrong apartment. So with me now is John's family attorney, S. Lee Merritt. I know that you and this family do not accept the official account from the arrest documents from police. You tell me why, and how do you explain how this officer ended up in a home that wasn't hers?
Much of the affidavit just simply doesn't comport with common sense.
I have to agree with that. It doesn't make much sense. I was kind of like, because I always try to explore different scenarios and stuff, but now that I saw this, I called it out yesterday, the other day when I made the video, doesn't make sense.
The latter part of your question, how do I explain what happened? Unfortunately, I can't. Typically, I have some sort of theory of what happened in this case. Here, I have no idea. I do know that certain statements within this affidavit are demonstratively false. For example, that door being ajar, those doors close automatically unless both of them left it open. Because he was expecting a guest or something, and I'm not making up excuses, it wouldn't have been open. And so what the family knows, what all the friends know, what everyone I've talked to about Botham knows, is that he wouldn't have propped that door open. He's a very meticulous accountant, somebody who's intentional in everything that they do. He doesn't prop doors open when they're expecting guests. And I've spoken to people who were interacting with him minutes before this happened. He wasn't expecting any guests. And so what actually happened is still a big mystery, but I know that what's stated in this affidavit is simply untrue.
I understand after all this happened, two witnesses, and you tell me, I believe the two witnesses went separately, came forward saying that they...
And this is the big thing, the whole witness part.
They did hear something. Is that correct? Can you tell me what those witnesses said?
Yeah, so the two witnesses are actually roommates, and one was in the living room, the other one was in her bedroom. One was in the living room watching television, her bedroom. They both heard a knock or a pounding on the door.
And that completely contradicts the affidavit. And that completely contradicts the affidavit. There's no reason for these witnesses to lie. If the door was open, the door was ajar, and you still somehow went to the door to try to use your key, even though the door's open and you're stating your report, you still somehow go to put a key into a door that's already open, and then witness accounts are saying that you're banging
in her bedroom reading a book. She heard pounding followed by a female's voice saying, "Open up, let me in." She said the voice didn't sound like an officer command, but sounded like someone who wanted to be let into the apartment.
It seems like she knew him. Maybe this was some crazy ass chick, you know, wanting to get back at him. I don't know.
She said that was shortly followed by the sound of gunshots and the sound of a man's voice saying what she believed to be, "Oh my God, why did you do that?" Again, I have a difficult time figuring out how those facts play into what we know. But I know that if a door is locked, there's no one pounding on it. I'm sorry, if a door is open.
Exactly.
There wouldn't be anyone pounding on it to let them in.
Well, yeah,
Why?
that's what it meant.
Do
Yeah.
you know?
If it's open.
Did this officer and Mr. John, did they know each other?
No one that I know who has a personal relationship with both of them can connect these two in any meaningful way. The only connection that we have been able to make is she is his immediate downstairs neighbor. And there were noise complaints from the immediate downstairs neighbors about whoever was upstairs, and that would have been Botham. In fact, there was a noise complaint that very day about upstairs activity in Botham's apartment. Botham received a phone call about noise coming from his apartment from the downstairs.
Noise complaints. And he said earlier that day. That's strange. It almost seems like they had something going on, man. I don't know. It seems like that.
Neighbor.
Right?
I see. And just lastly, as I just wanted to read part of the statement from the Dallas DA spokesperson. It's important to maintain the integrity of the case once all the evidence is presented.
Maintain the integrity of what? Where's that drug test? And this BS affidavit that's being fed to us that's completely cleaned up, that they didn't even do a good job at that, because the affidavit itself is contradictory. So it's like, so you guys let me know, man. How do you feel about this? What do you think? You know, I hear that the mom already said that she forgave the cop and all this stuff. That more power to her. That's nice on her that she can be that strong. Being a parent myself, forgiveness. I think they're Christians too and stuff. So hey, all that power to them that they can forgive somebody for doing that. For me, my world would be upside down. I don't know that I could forgive somebody 2 days, 3 days after. Oh, it's all good. And not that I'm saying that she's saying that, but it almost comes out, oh, I forgive you. No. Like, I don't know. That's just my thoughts. So comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. I appreciate you guys supporting me, commenting, sending me links. Have a great day and peace.
I see potential subscribers.
Peace, love, prosperity. Subscribe. All right.